My name is Margaret Collins. I am 79 years old, and this is the story I never thought I would have to tell. Mine begins with love, then slowly breaks into silence. And if you are listening to this, please stay with me, because what happens next may surprise you. I live with my only son, David, and his wife Emma, or at least I used to. Life was not always hard. There was a time when I believed I would never feel lonely again. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply that you never imagined they could hurt you? After my husband died, my world became quiet. The house felt too big and the nights felt too long, but David was there, took care of me. He bought my medicine. He cooked sometimes, even when he was tired. He asked me, "Are you feeling okay today, Mom?" Those words meant everything to me. Sometimes love sounds very simple. I remember the first week after my husband passed away very clearly.
David woke up early every morning to make tea. He made sure I ate breakfast.
In the evenings, he sat beside me and asked about my day. Even when there was nothing special to say, I felt safe. I felt loved. I truly believed the worst days were already behind me. But life has a quiet way of changing. Slowly, things began to feel different. David started coming home late. At first, I told myself it was just work. He walked into the house quietly, his shoulders slumped, his eyes tired. He sat for a few minutes and then left the room. "How was your day, David?" I asked one night. "It was fine, Mother," he said, without looking at me. That was the first time I felt something was wrong. Emma began complaining more often. "We cannot afford everything, David," she said. "The food, the bills, your mother's medicine, it's too much." David rubbed his forehead and sighed. "I know, Emma. We will manage." But his voice did not sound strong anymore. When love meets pressure, something always breaks. I often heard them arguing in the kitchen. I tried to ignore it, but every word reached my ears. "You spoil her too much," Emma said angrily. "She is my mother. I will not leave her," David answered. "I am not talking about love," Emma said. "I am talking about reality." That word reality felt colder than winter. I held my blanket tight and stayed quiet. I did not want to be a burden. Some nights, I lay awake listening to their voices, their footsteps, the doors opening and closing. The house that once felt warm now felt cold and empty. Loneliness can live even in a full house. Days passed and Emma spoke less to me. When she did, it was never kind. It was always a command or a complaint. "Do not leave your cup there. Be careful." We dropped food again. Her words were sharp, and I felt small. Have you ever felt invisible in your own home? David stopped asking about my day. He no longer sat with me in the evenings. I ate my meals alone. My hands shook, and sometimes I spilled food. No one noticed? Or maybe they chose not to. Silence can hurt more than shouting. Some mornings I tried to pour tea, but my hands trembled. The tea spilled onto the table. Emma sighed loudly from the kitchen. I froze, pretending nothing happened. I cleaned it slowly, my heart beating fast. Fear had become part of my routine. In the evenings, I walked slowly to the kitchen with my cane to get water. David passed by me without a word, not even a look. I felt like a shadow. When did I stop being his mother and start being a problem? One day I whispered, "David, can we talk?" He looked at me, tired and distant. "I am busy, Mother," he said, and walked away. That moment stayed with me for a long time. Sometimes one sentence can break a heart. One evening, I sat in my room pretending to read. "We cannot keep her forever," Emma said. "The medicine, the food. One day we will have to leave her somewhere." David's voice was low. "I know. I will think of something." That was the moment fear truly entered my heart. I wanted to cry. I wanted to speak. But I stayed quiet. Remembered David as a child holding my hand when he was afraid. I remembered his smile. "You will not let this happen," I told myself. He is my son. Hope can be dangerous when it is misplaced. Life became harder. Emma gave me food without a word. She frowned when I dropped anything. David stopped helping me stand or walk. My legs felt weak. Some mornings I could not reach the bathroom without holding the wall. My body was failing, and so was my trust. One morning I could not get up at all. A fever burned my head. My mouth was dry. I whispered for water. No one came for a long time. When David finally entered the room, he looked worried, but also restless. He gave me a little water. Emma stood behind him, silent and cold. I knew then that something was about to change forever. That night, I heard them arguing again. "We cannot waste money on doctors anymore," Emma shouted. "Tomorrow, we will take her out." David said nothing, but I understood everything. Sometimes silence is an answer. I was too weak to cry, too weak to speak. I closed my eyes and waited. The next night, David helped me into the car. "Mother, we are going for a drive," he said softly. "You will feel better." I wanted to believe him. I trusted him completely. Trust can blind even the strongest heart. The car drove past the town, past the familiar streets. The road became dark and quiet. Finally, the car stopped. Emma said, "Let us go." David helped me out and laid me on the ground. My legs could not move. My breath was heavy. He placed a thin blanket over me, but did not look at my face. I whispered, "David, please." He did not answer. The car drove away. And just like that, I was alone. The night felt endless. I lay on the cold ground, wrapped in a thin blanket that did not keep the cold away. The air was sharp, and my body shook without control. Every sound felt loud in the darkness, the wind, the insects, my own breathing. Have you ever felt so alone that even the stars seemed far away? I tried to move my legs, but they would not listen to me. I tried to call for help, but my voice was weak, almost gone. Each breath felt heavy, like my chest was filled with stones. I closed my eyes and waited. Waiting was all I had left. I thought about my husband. I thought about the years we spent together, the small house we built, the laughter we shared. I thought about David when he was little, how he used to run to me when he was scared. I wondered how everything had gone so wrong. How can love turn into abandonment? The cold became stronger as the night went on. I did not know if morning would come for me. I prayed quietly, not for revenge, not for punishment, only for one more chance to live. Sometimes hope is just a whisper in the dark. When the sky slowly began to change color, I heard footsteps. At first I thought I was dreaming. Then I heard a man's voice. "Ma'am, are you all right?" I opened my eyes slowly. A tall man stood above me, his face full of concern. That moment changed everything. He knelt down and gave me water from his bottle. I drank slowly, my hands shaking. "Do not worry," he said. "I will help you." He took out his phone and called for help. 911. "What's the emergency?" Those words felt like light after a long night. Help had finally arrived. Soon. Ascend with the set for ascent set set as with the set flat set lie set reset I set They lifted me gently and placed me into an ambulance. The warmth inside felt unreal. I closed my eyes and let myself rest. For the first time in a long while, I felt safe. I stayed in the hospital for many days. Doctors checked my body, gave me medicine, and helped me regain strength. Nurses spoke kindly to me. They smiled, asked how I was feeling, and listened when I talked. Kindness feels different when you have been without it. The police asked me about my family. I told them everything. About Emma. About the night I was left behind, they asked if I wanted my son punished. I shook my head. "I still love him," I said. When I was strong enough, they took me to an old age home. At first, fear returned. I thought I would be alone again. I thought no one would care. Sometimes new beginnings feel like endings, but this place was different. People smiled at me. They spoke to me like I mattered. I met others who had stories like mine. Some were abandoned. Some were forgotten. Some were simply old and tired. Pain brought us together. I met Rose, who loved to sing old songs. Her voice was soft but full of life. I met Henry, who always told jokes, even when his hands shook. He made us laugh during lunch. Slowly, I joined them. We shared stories, tea, and quiet smiles. Friendship can heal wounds that time cannot. One afternoon, Rose said, "Come, Margaret, let's sing." I laughed softly. "I have not sung in a long time," I said. "Then today is the perfect day," she replied. We sang together. My voice was weak at first, but then it grew stronger. That was the day I felt alive again. I began walking in the garden every morning. The sun felt warm on my face. The flowers smelled sweet. I moved slowly, but I moved forward. Each step felt like a small victory. Healing does not rush at walks. At night, I still thought about David. I wondered if he ever thought of me, if he felt regret, if he remembered the love we once shared. I prayed for him, not because he deserved it, but because I needed peace. Forgiveness is sometimes for ourselves. I stopped waiting for him to return. I stopped expecting answers. In this new home, I found something unexpected. I found people who cared. I found laughter. I found purpose. Family is not always blood, it is choice. Now at 79, I wake up with gratitude. I drink tea with friends. I sing songs. Laugh. My life did not end the night I was abandoned. It began again. It is never too late to begin again. If you are listening to my story, remember this. Do not ignore the elderly. Do not forget those who once cared for you. And if you ever feel alone, know this life can surprise you, even at the end of the road. If this story touched your heart, please share it, leave a comment, or check on someone who may feel forgotten today. Your kindness could be the reason someone finds hope again.